Okay, Superstar Shakeup 2019, Day 2, Smackdown Live. Here's the lowdown. Let's do it. Smackdown, it opens up with Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens comes out and he invites out the New Day. He invites out Kofi and Xavier and talks about Kofi's triumph and all that. I still get a little weird feeling about other, to a degree, other superstars who are just so hype about Kofi Kingston. Shouldn't you want that belt for your own damn self? Like, to a degree, right? Like, maybe not Xavier Woods. Maybe Xavier Woods, like, is content. You could argue maybe he understands. Like, I'm just talking like, character story. Maybe he understands that he's not as good as Kofi and is therefore content with his place, or maybe he's just content with his place right now and wants to get there eventually. Kofi's a lot older than him. He's taking his time, learning things. Doesn't plan on taking out his best friend to get that title when he wants it one day or whatever. That's kind of the Xavier Woods thing, like why maybe he wouldn't want that belt, why Big E wouldn't want that belt, like. But Kevin Owens should want that belt. I mean, he was just fighting for it a month ago at a pay-per-view. However, I'm not going to let that stop me from enjoying what happened next. The Kevin Owens show was awesome. It was he like offers to join the New Day because Big E is hurt, and then they give him, like, Kofi takes off his tank top and Kevin tries to put it on, and it's too small for him, and I mean, he gets it on, but it is absolutely too small for him. And it made me smile several times. I'm not going to lie. Like, this segment, Big O, like that, it made me smile, man, and I needed it, I guess. Sometimes life isn't easy or whatever, and you need things to make you happy. And Raw really upset me, broke my heart a little bit. So I needed that. So the first superstar, though, who's being shooken up, he's all shook up. Finn Balor, which I think is really damn cool, unless you count Kevin Owens. Because I think this might have been, like, because it's a superstar shakeup. I know Kevin Owens has only been appearing on SmackDown since he's been back. But he was always on Raw before that. So, like, I kind of always thought maybe he was going to be, like, bouncing back and forth or kind of a tweener or whatever. Kevin Owens is definitely a SmackDown wrestler now. So unless you count Kevin, which, whatever. The first one is Finn Balor, and I'm actually really excited about this. He brings the Intercontinental Championship with him. It makes his loss to Andrade on Raw make a little bit more sense. You're leaving the show, so you lose to the up-and-coming guy. You lose to the guy coming in who's kind of maybe sort of taking your place, to give him a platform to build on for the rest of the year. And, Finn Balor looked really good on the blue brand. He was wearing some kind of a blue motif, and his match was against Mustafa Ali, and despite this being a face-face matchup, it's one I would actually like to see a program with going forward. Andrade was a more natural fit. I thought after their match on Raw that we would be seeing a program between Finn Balor and Andrade, because it's just so natural. It's a really, Andrade is booked as a heel, and it's not just that he's booked as a heel. He fits that booking really well. I'm almost kind of bummed out he got bumped over to Raw, because he would be such a natural booking against Finn Balor. They're similar sized. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. I think that would be a really good booking. Despite that, Finn Balor and Mustafa Ali is an awesome match, and these guys put on a really cool, maybe a little bit brief, but a really cool match that Finn Balor eventually he prevails in, and Finn Balor is eventually the winner of, and he's standing there holding the Intercontinental Championship, looking strong. And I think both guys, they shake hands after the match. I think both guys come out of this looking pretty good, looking primed for going forward in the future and stuff. Like I said, despite the fact they're both heel or both faces, I might have said heels earlier by accident. Despite the fact they're both faces, this is a matchup I'd like to see again. I'd like to see a rematch of this. I'd like to see. I mean, wouldn't you like to see these dudes in like a ladder match or something? Because I would. I really would. So yeah, that's the first superstar being shaken up, and he gets the win. And it's like I said, it was a better match even than the Andrade match. It just from like a. I don't want them to make Mustafa Ali a heel. I really don't. I don't want them to make Finn Balor a heel either necessarily right now, though Finn Balor as a heel is really cool. I guess not Finn Balor, but Fergal Devitt as a heel he's good. He's good at playing the part. So if they do that, it won't be the worst thing in the world. It's just he's my favorite, and I kind of like him being a face more than I want to see him as a heel. Though I do kind of wish they would let him present in different homages to comics or movies or horror movies and stuff the way he used to do when he was in New Japan. I never got to really see any of that stuff. I've just seen pictures, and it looks cool as hell. So anyway, Kevin Owens, we get a little, well, he says he's never eaten a pancake in his entire life. Actually, before I talk about that, I want to talk about something a little bit more extensively that I only touched on briefly when I was first kind of like saying it. The Intercontinental Championship is on Smackdown. The Intercontinental Championship, the United States Championship, and the WWE Championship are all on SmackDown. That's 3 men's singles titles with a fair amount of prestige attached to all 3, I might add. It's not like one of them's the hardcore championship or the European championship, which bring back the European championship, by the way. I really wish they would bring that back. I know people think there's too many belts already. I disagree. I think we have a lot of wrestlers, and having a lower mid-card belt that maybe you could see every week, or maybe not. Maybe that's the other thing they could do with it, is only have it come out every so often. Or the hardcore title, bring that back. Something like it. They're never going to bring back the hardcore title because it messes with the image that they've got. And I think rightfully so. I can't blame them for that. But something like it. Some sort of special, the best in the world trophy, I thought was maybe going to kind of be like that. But I've yet to see. It's not like I guess they could still set it up that, maybe Shane takes it away, or excuse me, The Miz takes it away from Shane after he beats him eventually in this rivalry. but it's still, I'd rather see a belt. Something that kind of maybe has some special occasion or special stipulation attached to it that can kind of go around a little bit to some of the, just to get it to get something for some of the mid-card guys who are solid. I know Dolph's not with the company right now, but I think he's kind of like this. He's an example of a guy like this. A mid-card guy who's got the talent to be a primetime guy isn't booked that way for whatever reason to have something to do. Anyway, we get a segment where Kevin Owens has never eaten a pancake in his entire life, and he has to eat a whole pile of pancakes in under 5 minutes and 45 seconds. This is clearly a little comedy segment, but it makes you laugh. It's actually, I thought the whole time I'm watching it, I'm thinking, okay, this is where Kevin Owens decides he can't be a part of the New Day. I don't like pancakes, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like pancakes, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what you want me to do. I've never had a pancake before. I'm sorry. That's my Kevin Owens impression, if you didn't figure that out. Sorry to any Canadian friends of mine. And Kayfabe Chronicles, he's over in Canada. Sorry, dude. Sorry if you're watching this. I'm very sorry. And if you're watching this and you want to watch somebody who talks about NXT a bunch and has really good insight on wrestling in general, I highly recommend you check out his channel, Kayfabe Chronicles, over on YouTube as well. I believe he's on Facebook too. Anyway, he beats Big E's time, and he's a braver man than me because he dropped a pancake on the floor and seemed to pick it right up off the floor and continue to eat it. I could never. Nope, can't do that. Brain won't let me. So yeah, we get another Bray Wyatt vignette, and it's not even like a new Bray Wyatt vignette. It's the same one they used last week. I don't think it's an indication that he's coming to SmackDown. He's not in any of the. I'm recording this on Wednesday. He's not in any of the literature out online today that talks about who's like the full list, because it wasn't. The problem with the Superstar Shakeup this year is it wasn't always obvious that a guy was coming to a brand. Like I said today when I made my Raw video that Lars Sullivan was officially on Raw. And then I was like, oh, wait, but last night they said he was officially on SmackDown. And so I messed up because I couldn't keep it straight. So anyway, we get a Charlotte versus Carmella match, and no shakeups happening at this point. And Charlotte and Carmella ends with Charlotte really beating up Carmella and getting her in a submission, like nobody would have guessed. Anyway, here comes Lars Sullivan to further muddy the waters of who's on what show. And he comes out and he beats up R-Truth. And I really, 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 really like what they're doing with Lars Sullivan right now, despite the fact that it's kind of confusing what show he's on. So we have Lars Sullivan. He comes out, and I think it was last week after the Hardy Boys won the tag team championships, Lars Sullivan came out and beat him up. And the night before that, after Kurt Angle got a little bit of revenge on Baron Corbin, Lars Sullivan came out and beat him up. And then on Monday of this week, Rey Mysterio comes out and has a nice debut of being a new, he's going to be on Raw now. And all of a sudden, Lars Sullivan comes out and beats him up. So, like, he's coming around. I thought he was beating up Attitude Era stars, and maybe he is kind of, but and he did beat up R-Truth, and R-Truth has been, I guess, technically was a part of the Attitude Era, probably. early 2000s. Some of that, they still, people, I always think of the Attitude Era as like maybe like 3-4 years, but there's people that say it goes all the way till 02, goes all the way to 02, all the way to 03. And if it goes all the way to 02 or 03, that might very well include R-Truth. I know he was involved with the early mid 2000s, so that could very well be part of why it was R-Truth that got attacked and not somebody else. Either way, Sullivan comes into the ring and R-Truth kind of like springs to protect Carmella, right? A wounded Carmella. And he gets like I'm not even sure what move it was because it happened so quickly, but he does one of his like little flying moves over at Lars and connects. In the process of the move, R-Truth has to turn his back to Lars, and he can't see that Lars is just smiling and grinning and laughing and has not been affected at all. So when Truth stands back up, he's a little bit surprised, a little bit shocked, and then you see this moment of like, all right, I'm going to go after him again. Here we go. Some resolve from Truth, some bravery to go after this man that just resisted you throwing your whole body at him at full speed. And it doesn't end well for Truth. He the resolve though to attack again, and then he just gets spine buster for his efforts, and it really, I figured it out. I think we're getting close to Avengers Endgame, and Lars Sullivan is being booked like Thanos or some sort of really powerful comic book villain, and I love it. And what we're seeing is some of the mid-card former champions, stars of the past, who are attempting who like are losing in their efforts to fight this man. And eventually, I think it's going to take someone like Kofi Kingston or someone like Mustafa Ali is going to have to get involved just to protect the locker room. This man is being booked like a supervillain. I really like it. I mean, I really like it. I do. This is something I would want to do in like a universe mode of mine or something like that in WWE 2K. The segment played out really well. I'm not going to lie. I really liked it. And I'm usually fairly critical of WWE writing and stuff like that. And I really like this. The way the whole segment played out, I mean, kind of gave me goosebumps a little bit. And Truth isn't booked like some kind of world beater, but he's a 2-time United States champion. And he's won other championships too, I think, but I know he's been United States champion at least twice. It's kind of like seeing at the beginning of a superhero movie a middle tier, like a big ensemble movie like Avengers. I don't want to like call out a character and then have people tell me, well, that character's really powerful. And I know they are, but like, think about how they're booked or something, So this is like, in the last Avengers movie at the beginning when, spoiler, fast forward to some, when Loki dies. And it's sad. And you're like, whoa, this person who killed Loki must be very powerful, because though Loki is not the most powerful character in this universe, I do know that they are very formidable. And I feel like that's what you get with the Hardys, R-Truth, a retired Kurt Angle. That's what you're getting. That's who Lars Sullivan is tearing his way through. Anyway, Ember Moon comes out to taunt Becky Lynch. So she's been shaken up to SmackDown. And Bayley's been shaken up too, and this is my favorite thing. This is maybe my favorite thing about all of the Superstar Shakeup so far. Bayley is going to SmackDown. Not only is Bayley going to SmackDown, though, we're getting leather jacket, bad Bayley, who left her hugs at Raw. She is a singles competitor now. She has turned heel, it seems, to a degree. She's maybe not heel, but like, because I have been begging for a Bayley heel turn for a long time on this channel, because she's boring. But at least they've changed up her character. This hugger thing is over. She comes out, leather jacket, says Bayley on the back. She's got like, it's got those tassels, and they're black and white. She's looking like a, I mean, she's still got some color to her top. And they'll have to change that eventually, I think, to more of a darker motif or something, maybe black and red, maybe black and white. Either way, she's looking like female badass Randy Savage or some shit. And I love it. I love it. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see more of that. I really can't. Anyway. In the middle of all that, okay, we get the Iconics come out. And they come out to talk a little bit of smack to Bayley about having lost the tag team belts with Sasha to the Iconics. They talk a little bit of smack to Becky. That Becky, you have 2 belts. We have 2 belts too. Our 2 belts are better. They're iconic. And then Paige comes out. Right? And Paige comes out and says, well, hey, everybody, I'm here to, hello, everybody, it's me, she says. And she's here to, with the tag team that she promised that she'd be there. And she's going to be managing this tag team. Which further made me think, oh, this is definitely the Sky Pirates then, because they always kind of book them. I don't know how good their English is or isn't. Even if their English was great, they may not feel comfortable speaking it in front of cameras and 70,000 or not 70. That is an exaggeration for a Raw, obviously. But 15,000 people or something. Maybe they're perfectly comfortable having a conversation with me or anybody else that they might meet somewhere in English, but not in that situation. And even if when I knew the most French, which was not very much, I wouldn't have wanted to have a conversation with anybody in that language, right? So like, you can't blame them, even if they do speak English well, for maybe wanting a manager or a mouthpiece. So this, I'm thinking, whether it's booking and it's just the way they're being booked and they really speak English great, or maybe they aren't comfortable speaking English in front of all these people like this, or maybe they just don't speak English that well, made me like really think this is definitely going to be the Sky Pirates. And we got the pirate part. Pirates of Tomorrow is what I'm going to call it, because it's Asuka and Kairi Sane, and not Kairi Sane and Io Shirai. And I still feel, as cool as that is, and Asuka gets a cool tag team partner, and Kairi Sane gets a cool tag team partner, I still think Asuka should be in the singles picture on either Raw or SmackDown. I was hoping she would go to Raw or something. I don't like the way that she's booked. She's booked below her ability level considerably. I don't know why. In the middle of that, though, actually, I skipped ahead. Before we even get to finding out that it's going to be Asuka and Io Shirai that Paige has to be managing and to introduce, Mandy Rose, and there's a little swerve because from before. But Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, they come out and they're like, "Oh, thanks, Paige, but we don't need your help." And eventually Paige is like, "Oh, hold up. This is you're not who I was talking about." And so we get the Sky Pirates. And then we get an 8-person tag team match with Asuka, Io Shirai, or not Io Shirai, Kairi Sane. Can't get these people confused here. They're on one team with Ember Moon and Bayley as well. And then we get the Iconics, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville on the other team. And everybody has a chance to shine in this match. I don't think Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville looked that great, but they didn't look that bad either. And pretty much everybody else, Billie Kay always, I think, looks a little bit awkward in the ring. I don't know why. But Peyton Royce looked really good. Nobody looked bad. And all 4 members of the other team, the face team, I guess, which is why I say Bayley didn't do a heel turn, but did have a massive character change. The face team looked awesome. So I'm all right with it, man. We get Ember Moon, Kairi Sane, and Bayley all looking really strong. Asuka looks strong despite, going from being a singles champion to now being in a tag team. I was pretty happy with it. That was a good match. I'm pretty happy with the people being brought in, despite the fact that it's not the Sky Pirates and it's going to be we call them the Pirates of Tomorrow. And if they don't call them that, WWE is really screwing it up with the names after that Viking Experience shit yesterday. So Kevin Owens, we get a shot at Kevin Owens learning to announce the New Day because Big E normally does that. And it's damn it's heartwarming. It just is. It's fun. This is a good decision. It's so weird. I thought Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali were going to be doing stuff together. Maybe they still will at some point in time. They seem to be buddy-buddy. But this is a crazy pairing. It's crazy booking, but it's crazy fun too. So we get a 6-man tag match between the Brand New Day and Nakamusev plus Cesaro for some reason. I don't know where Sheamus is or why they picked Cesaro. In the middle of all that, before the match actually starts, we get a little pre-recorded taped, I guess you'd call it a vignette or something, but it's not really a vignette. It's just a pre-recorded tape segment where Buddy Murphy explains that he's being shaken up to Smackdown, and so that should be cool. I thought he was definitely going to be leaving 205 Live. I guessed NXT, and it seemed to be that NXT would be happening just because of his upcoming match for the North American Championship. It's for the North American Championship, and it's against Velveteen Dream. And it is for the belt. The North American Championship is up for grabs, and there's a chance, I guess, that North American Championship will be on SmackDown. And you'll have 4 singles belts on SmackDown, which would be crazy. That's probably not going to happen. Velveteen Dream shouldn't lose his belt yet. Anyway, though, back to the match. The New Day wins. The Brand New Day wins. And everybody on that team looked awesome in doing it. And Kevin Owens looked really comfortable and at home in the match. And he's not Big E. He's not trying to be Big E. I don't know what else to say about it. It was a lot of fun. Vince McMahon comes out to tell us all what the biggest acquisition in SmackDown history is going to be. and everybody expects it's Roman Reigns, but they swerve you, and it's Elias. Elias comes out and says, "Oh, thank you for saying that I'm the biggest acquisition in the history of SmackDown," and I'm gonna play a song or whatever, and his song gets interrupted by Roman Reigns, who comes out and drops Elias with a couple of punches, and then Superman punches the boss too. So, like, lately, Vince McMahon's been hit by a couple different people lately. AJ Styles hit Vince McMahon, and then now Roman Reigns has hit Vince McMahon. It's weird, but he got a pop when he did it, because of course he did. He punched the boss. It's a cheap way to get people kind of on your side and whatever. I mean, Roman is moving shows, and you might as well start him off as strongly as you possibly can. I hope he does really well over there. I hope he gets booed less. People have already been booing him less, but I think if I was a wrestler, I would rather hear the boos than silence. And Roman's been getting more silence lately the further and further we get from his return from leukemia, which, is understandable. He's not a character that is very well liked by the WWE fans, but the WWE fans are not all terrible, awful people, and understand that he's just a man playing a character. And when he got real life cancer, everybody was really pulling for him. And also, just because we boo him, I probably wouldn't boo him. I like Roman. I don't love Roman, but I like Roman. I might boo him if everybody else was booing him, and it felt like the thing to do, though. Like, we're booing. I love him, but we're booing. Same thing you do with all kinds of guys, right? So if it was like that, I might boo him. But I don't know. I lost my train of thought. All I can say is that if I were him, I'd rather be hearing the boos than. And it's good that, we all decided, well, we're not going to boo him. Came back from cancer, and we understand he's just playing a character, and we're over the cancer part of it now for the man. We're back to the character now, and people are feeling uncomfortable booing, I think. Not quite ready to cheer. I don't know. So hopefully this shakeup will breathe some new life into his character that is more focused on actual, like, kayfabe stuff. And hopefully he continues to be real life healthy. I mean, I'm not trying to say anything about that. I'm just saying, like, from like a storyline sense, hopefully this move puts some new life into the character and brings him some new heat one way or another, good or bad. Anyway, that's the Superstar Shakeup. Overall, I like the Smackdown show better than the Raw show, and I think I'm going to continue to be more excited about Smackdown than I am about Raw for the foreseeable future. But I don't think Raw is exactly in a good place right now, but I haven't lost all hope yet. There's just been good signs the whole way along. I'd be all gung ho about the tag team division in Raw right now if it wasn't for this Viking experience bullshit. All right, I'll see you guys later.